Yo, good morning. It's about 5:09 here in Las Vegas, and I'm up having some tea. And I was just thinking about movies. Lately, I've been talking to a lot of my filmmaking friends, and I think that if we want to change the world entertainment-wise, as filmmakers, we need to make more movies where the good guy wins. So many of these movies are being made, these gangsters and power stuff and all this, it's basically like the drug trade is the only thing that happens in the hood. And, even if the gangsters win, they're not really winning because they're winning on the backs of addicts and people who are down on their luck and, drug addicts. And, then there's the killing and the murders and the territorial killing and stuff. And I'm like, why don't we make more movies like Fresh, where the young kid finds a way to pit two gangs against each other and they take each other out? Why don't we make movies where the citizens of a community rise up and clean up their neighborhood? Why don't we make movies where just the regular black man gets up, gets fed up, and just starts to take out the bad elements in their neighborhood, the people who hurt kids, the people who rob grandmom, the people who sell drugs in your neighborhood. I mean, the citizens outnumber the bad guys. And the only thing that separates them is the fear, But I think as filmmakers, if we want to change the narrative, somewhat with creativity, I think having independent films where the good guy wins definitely would make or let kids have stuff that they can watch and be inspired to and grow up knowing that they do have some control in making their neighborhoods better. I always think about, even if you didn't have an idea for a movie like that, a great example are Bruce Lee movies. Like, so in other words, the movie could still be hard ass, badass. It could be kill 'em up, it could be shoot 'em up, it could be high action, the whole 9 yards. But it could be the good guy actually winning. And Bruce Lee is a perfect example because when we grew up, Bruce Lee, what he meant to us young kids watching is that you can be a guy who cares about people, who comes in and like I think it was Fist of Fury, where he comes into a town. I think that's the one where he worked in the ice plant where they chop up the ice, and then he finds out that there's a gang that's terrorizing the workers there, and he takes his skill set and he goes out and he pretty much fights the bad guy when they come, and he even encourages some of the other workers to fight back and stop the tyranny that they were going through from the bad guys in the community. And those movies went over really well with us as young kids. They really resonated because the good guy was winning. I think we need vigilante movies where the kids could watch, like I was saying before, where the kids could watch regular people stand up and fight for their communities. I just think that as filmmakers, we need more hero movies. We need more unlikely type of hero films. I use Fresh as an example because I thought the movie Fresh was really smart. They were using these chess narratives, and this young kid was able to take out multiple bad guys just by his wits. And but yeah, so that's just my thoughts this morning. I think the kung fu flicks, when we grew up, were a great example. since I think that African Americans are the best boxers in the world, maybe movies based on boxing where you open it up where like, how many great fighters we've had come from the hood, and just make movies about people who fight with their hands to clean up their neighborhood. And I mean, I love like the Bruce Lee flicks because he never used a gun. He was jacking people up that had guns. I mean, it definitely was unrealistic, but it gave us, it was very strong for us. I mean, we could do, I think black folks, black filmmakers could do the equivalent of just guys who can box really good, and they come into the neighborhood. Maybe a guy comes back from the war or something like that, and he comes back to his hometown, and the hometown is being terrorized by the gangsters, and he gets all the gangsters out. I think that more movies should be made that way, so our young kids can see black kids or black people being the hero. Oftentimes, the stuff that our kids watch, the white guy is always the protagonist. The white guy always wins. The white guy always is the best. The white guy always gets the girl. I think when you're independent, we need to make movies that really cater to our young people and our young men, our older men, that make men feel strong and not weak, because we've been at the mercy of drug dealers and gangsters for years and years and years, but we outnumber them, and they're not really that smart. I watch drug dealers take millions of dollars and just blow it in their own neighborhood, and then let the neighborhood be gentrified when they had the opportunity to pretty much buy all the property up in the neighborhood and fix it. In real life, I've seen these guys, it's just like all they were concerned with was cars and jewelry and clothes, and then when they're down and their mom's losing their house, or the neighborhood's changing because no one really acquired the properties in the neighborhood and fixed them up. So I think entertainment has a lot to do with how young people grow up. I think more people should make movies about the good guy winning, so that's my thoughts for the day. Just like, I've always been a creative, and if I think that something could actually change the narrative in some way, then I'll speak on it. I mean, my first controversial record, Discombobulator Boobulator, was made with the intent of combating the issues that a lot of black young people had with these Chinese restaurants in black neighborhoods. We were their only patrons. Black people were the only people that patronized these stores. But when we went in there, we were treated like pure crap. I remember being a little kid and just the hatred that some of the Asian folks would look at us with. It was just crazy. So when I made the record, I was thinking about all the stuff in those stores that are kind of like irritating, but we still patronize them, and I wanted to make a song about it. And some people actually stopped eating Chinese food. There's a lot of things in the hood that could be addressed to make the hood better. I think movies is a good start. Making stories that inspire the regular person to stand up. Marches don't seem to do very much. I think if we make more films with heroes in them, I think the world for young black kids will be a lot better. There's so many people that grow up and all their heroes are non-black, and then the black guy stuff is just so negative, and it definitely has what you watch. Garbage in, garbage out. What you watch has an effect on you. That's why there's some black people who think like the white man is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And they look down on their own people. And some of it's because of early programming and early brainwashing that white is right and black is wrong. And I think as filmmakers, we can change some of that narrative by making, even if it's fictitious stuff where the good guy, the good black guy wins, or the good black woman wins. I think that narrative that we are not, that we don't always have to be the victim and just take the negativity that comes to us, and we could actually stand up and fight. That narrative needs to be expressed more in African American entertainment, I believe, because a lot of our issues in our hood come from our hood. You know, systemic racism is definitely alive and popping, and some people don't understand why, you know, some black folks hurt and harm their own people. Those are people who don't understand that when the slaves were freed, they freed the field Negro and the house Negro. So there's always going to be black folks that don't like black folks and will hurt black folks for money and hurt black folks just because of proximity. They're just angry with the people around them. You know, they don't fit in. I mean, just because everybody is the same skin color in the hood don't mean that everybody in the hood is of the hood or of the people in the hood. And I just think that only black people have the real power to clean up their neighborhoods when it comes to certain things. And everything starts at home. A lot of people are nasty, negative, and angry because of how they were raised. You know, poverty breeds a lot of things that make a lot of young black people unhealthy. But yeah, that's it. Just me rambling on for like 14 minutes now about black filmmakers. Just make some movies with some heroes in it. The narrative doesn't have to be the gangster shooting up the neighborhood and you know, selling crack to grandma and being the toughest, hardest guy and, you know, housing the block, and the block ain't nothing but grandma. You know, if our young black men, older black men, should be making neighborhoods safe for black women and black children. And I think movies can have a lot to do with that, of changing the narrative. So this is me, MC Breeze. It's now 5:24 in the morning, Las Vegas, and just wanted to put my 2 cents in. And, you know, I talked to a couple of filmmakers, and they were like, "Yo, man, that's a cool idea," you know. So we'll see. I got some stuff brewing. I mean, stuff could be funny. It could be, you know, all kinds of narratives. But just let's start making the good guy win. You know, let's let grandma get up 3 o'clock in the morning in a ninja suit and clean all the drug selling people off the block. You know, Granny's Revenge or something. I don't know. But anyway, man, peace. I just wanted to put that out there. You know, there's so many weird places to put your movies. There's so many places to get your stuff done. And, you know, just got to put your money together like I put my money together for records early in my career and make the movie. It can get done. You can make a movie with an iPhone. And you can make a movie with an Android. Shoot, Android got 8K phones. You know, you only need 80 minutes. You only need 80 minutes. Let some of the next projects that go on the Tubi, let them be the good guy winning. Anyway, peace. I'm out.